Ladies and gentlemen, heels and faces, casual wrestling fans, and all you smart marks. I'm Richie Moon,
Okay.
And I'm Kayfabe focused.
and this is Kayfabe Avenue. Gentlemen, what do you want to talk about? We
A
got
lot, literally a
we've been
lot
off
to
for
talk about.
apologies. Yeah, man, apologies to people. We was off for a little bit. Life happens, man. We got a lot to talk about. We got Rumble fallout, man. Let's not even wasting time. Let's get right into it, man. Everybody throw your ones up. You know what I'm saying? Tribal Chief for winning the Royal Rumble, and we got the beautiful, the sensational Liv Morgan on the women's side, man. What you guys think about that?
Um, the women's match stole the Rumble for me again this year. For some
Mm-hmm.
reason, when they throw the women together in these multi-person matches, they kind of outshine what the men are doing. I don't know if it's because we don't normally see them in this position, or they're just getting produced way better. But I think the ending of the women's match had me more in suspense and more on the edge of my seat than the men's match. The men's match, once they got to the final five, I literally said he goes out next, he goes out after, he goes after, then Roman wins, and that's exactly how it went.
Called it.
Yeah. So, am I mad the Tribal
It's
Chief
fucking
won? Hell no. I think we needed that injection of you know adrenaline, not to take
in the
Cody
soul.
Rhodes, no pun intended
In
for
the
Cody
soul, in
Rhodes,
your
but
soul.
we needed something to happen major. Having Roman Reigns hunting the championship, now going to WrestleMania and actually going for it. If he actually wins, and he's gonna stick around more than just every quarter showing up. I think we need that right now. Like, it's been kind of just okay recently. I think we need the shocks and those promo moments and we're gonna get into that too. And those good TV moments. I think we're gonna start getting that again. Now that Roman's back on TV. Not that we haven't been getting it elsewhere, but you know what I mean. Roman changes the whole flow of the entire show. It's like
Mhm.
all storylines pause, and then once they figure out what they're doing with Roman, it's like, all right, everyone else can resume. We can get to the next benchmark. So that's my view on it. I like Liv Morgan's win. She deserved it.
Mhm.
She's always been a runner up. Had to literally watch from the sideline, somebody else winning. So well deserved. She's had the best year and you know got the title stripped from
Not
her.
most of the year. Mhm.
Had the title stripped from her because of injury. She's back, and why not? Why not Liv Morgan? What about you,
It
Focus?
was
I think that I was kind of confused on why Soul Rucker decided to do a Soul Snatcher at the end right there. Because, like, where were you going to land? On the apron? You were going to
hey man,
land on the steel? And you think he was going to
wrestling.
win? Like, come on.
I love Soul Rucker. She made me a believer in her character at the Rumble in
Yeah.
particular.
And, and she was
But
best dressed out of all the women.
yeah,
And I feel like this match elevated her to probably get her into like a main event level.
Yeah.
she
And
was
as
too
far as
flippy though. It was too much. I agree with you, Focus. As far as that spot, like, what was the thought process? So for context, Soul Rucker, Liv Morgan, who was the other? Rhea Ripley. Um,
was it no, it was Tiffany.
oh, Tiffany Stratton, right, right. Rhea Ripley got eliminated by Raquel Rodriguez.
Mhm.
Um, them three are all on the apron same time, trading blows, like jumping over each other. But it would seem like the ninth time in that match, Soul Rucker's going for that rebound off of like that springboard flip she does. I that was the general reaction. Like, where were you going with that? There was no landing spot that kept you in the Rumble from that.
Hey,
You
it was
Like,
landed on the apron. What's gonna happen? You bounce off. You hit the floor.
it was a cool attempt. It was a cool attempt. What you think about what you think about the tribal chief winning the rumble?
So as far as the men's, out of all of the favorites to win the Rumble, Um, it was surprising to me that Braun got taken out so early. It made me think that, oh, maybe Braun's injured. But out of all of the favorite participants, Roman Reigns is the best on the mic. He's the one that's gonna carry the story. So of course it made sense that Roman Reigns was gonna win the
Hmm.
Royal Rumble and then challenge one of the championships and headline WrestleMania. Like it makes sense. Like
Not only
there
that,
there
he
were
he
some.
built up a story with both competitors, so he could have went
Yeah,
either way in his choice, and it would have instantly made sense. But sorry to
yeah.
cut
So
you
I
off. You
so
continue.
so I feel like, you know, it really him winning just provided him another accolade and is gonna give us another memorial road to WrestleMania.
Yeah. I like Liv Morgan winning. I think that was the right choice. She has been hot, especially since she came back from injury. Her momentum got cut because of injury, so she was the right choice. I like the women's rumble. I think I wish they could have like that last 5 minutes was super duper exciting. I wish they could have extended that more over the rumble. I don't think there's anything wrong with Roman winning. Like we all said, when Roman comes around, he makes the storyline go forward. So
The
him and
only
Punk, as we're about to get into, it's going to be an exciting road to WrestleMania, but also at the Rumble, right in the middle of the
Before
card.
we move on from that, um, with Roman's win, do you think that
Uh,
that erased that bitter taste of his first win? Because he's a two-time winner now of the Royal
oh yeah,
Rumble.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Remember,
yeah.
his first win was when The Rock endorsed him, and he just wasn't that guy then.
Nah,
So it's a different feeling because you can argue that with people like LA Knight in the
yeah,
Rumble
yeah.
and Fatu, Cody, a whole bunch of people that it could have went for Roman winning, and it was the right choice. It is like we're finally able to embrace him as like, yeah, you're the guy. We're okay with whatever spot they're putting you in at this point. So for me,
he's
is
finally
a good like benchmark of where he
he's
was
finally
and where
what
he
Vince
is now.
McMahon wanted. She's finally what Vince McMahon wanted. That top guy babyface, the cool top guy babyface. But in the middle of this rumble, we also had a really good match. And we also seen the retirement of AJ Styles. I think it was
Nyla,
from the retirer. They call him the career killer.
get
They call him the
around
career killer, but he's the retirer. So what? It doesn't make grammatical sense. It doesn't matter. It's the retirer.
the retirer.
I thought it was a good match. I wish it just my only issue with it. I wish it had more build. That was it. The match itself was good. I just wish it had more build. AJ Styles is that term gets thrown around a lot, but he really is a generational talent. A lot of wrestlers model their whole style off of AJ Styles. So I think he should have gotten more of a build, even though we've been quietly seeing his retirement tour the entire time. I wish it could have gotten more spotlight and more build. But it was a good match, nevertheless. What you guys think?
I was like the thought that was just bouncing in my head was the fact that secretly we've been getting his retirement tour the whole time, and ironically, at least to me, not being told directly, "Hey, it's the end. You have this many dates," like they did with John Cena. It allowed me
Mm-hmm.
to enjoy looking back at this past year. It allowed me to enjoy the fact that yeah, we actually got a good AJ Styles year without even realizing it. We had AJ versus John. We had his little tag team championship win. We had his lead up with Gunther. We had the match with Punk for the championship. So we had the match with him and Shinsuke, and that's just the examples that are just obvious. But we've literally been watching a great retirement run, and it made me enjoy it more so than I did with John Cena. Because with John Cena being dated, it was like, when is
There's a
this
lot of
gonna get?
expectations.
Yeah, when is this gonna? Steam is gonna pile up, and when is this gonna explode finally? Like, when are we gonna get the greatness that we've been expecting? So I think AJ did it right. I think he did it smart.
I feel like uh it was missing a couple things. Maybe a title, maybe like a world title run, maybe a tag match with Dragon Lee and AAA just once. That probably would have been enough.
TNA,
I could have swore they
TNA,
did have a
like
AAA match.
nah,
Him and Dragon
they
Lee.
were just tag team champions. Like I agree with Focus. Like no AAA match. Like the
There was
TNA
there was
partnership. Why wasn't
it
there a
was in
team?
AAA?
That's
I don't remember them
I
I don't
think
remember
they
AJ
did.
Styles.
no.
I'm not gonna don't bank on it, but I have like
Nah, they
this
didn't.
memory that they had
I feel like that would have been
one
I feel like that would
appearance.
have been I feel like
He
that would have
appeared.
been
He appeared on
I
AAA.
think it was right after they won the tag team championship.
Yeah, he appeared on AAA, but he never wrestled on AAA. Like I
yeah,
don't
that's what
understand
I'm
how he
saying.
ain't wrestled
I
on
would have
TNA
liked to
either.
see him wrestled
Yeah,
in AAA. Just so he could say like, hey, I also wrestled in AAA, just you know, he's one of those guys that worked almost every promotion.
So I have to ask this
yeah.
because we spoke about this.
August 16, 2025 to attack Dom during the main event, delivered a Styles Clash, costing Dom the Mega Campeonato, the AAA Mega Championship against Vikingo, Dragon Lee, and
Second.
Grande Americano. Yeah,
So
so he did get to at least perform for
yeah.
in some capacity for AAA during this retirement run. So that did happen.
So I have to ask the question because we spoke about this offline. Is AJ Styles done wrestling? Is he retired? Is AJ Styles retired from wrestling, or is AJ Styles retired from the WWE?
AJ Styles is currently retired, and he's not being naive to think that in a wrestler's world that he'll never be back. If you going based off the wrestlers' reactions in the WWE and their tributes to him and the behind the scenes stuff, if you go off of the visual of him actually shedding tears behind the scenes in his trailer, which he didn't realize they were still recording. If you go off of his interview with Stephanie McMahon, I think he's the first wrestler to say, I'm attempting retiring now, but I'm not going to be naive to say I'll never wrestle again. He said it straight up on the Stephanie McMahon podcast. What if my son wants to wrestle, which he is currently training? One of three of his sons, two, one actually training, one mildly interested. The third one is not interested at all in sports, and his daughter actually might be interested, even referencing that she might be like a Rey Mysterio of a women's division someday.
Nice.
So he kept it out there like, what if my son wrestles and I could get to tag with him one day? I'm not saying that the gloves are off forever. They're off for right now, and they might be off forever. I don't know. I don't know that right now. But he left it, open. So I think that's smart because it's like people like Ric Flair, the law of diminishing returns. Hey, I'm retired. Hey, I'm back. Hey, I'm retired. Hey, I'm back. Hey, I'm retired. It gets old. Leo
Yeah.
Rush has done it 3, 4 times to us. Multiple
Yeah.
people have done it, and it leaves a bad
Terry
taste.
Funk. Terry Funk made a career out of retiring.
Terry Funk,
Terry
like,
Funk made a
Yeah.
career out of
so,
retiring. Okay.
and that's the
Legally we gotta
thing.
say Terry Funk.
And that's the
Shout
thing.
out to Terry Funk.
When Stephanie and him were talking, Stephanie and AJ Styles, when they were talking, they stopped. They said, "Has anyone in wrestling retired and actually stood retired?" No, they couldn't think of any. They couldn't think of any. Undertaker retired, came back.
Stone Cold had it.
Stone
Stone Cold
Cold
had
had
it for about 19 years.
he
He
had
had it
it,
for
and
about
then what
19
happened? He
years.
came back
He came back.
with Kevin Owens. So
Nobody ever.
nobody has really stuck true to their actual in ring publicized.
No, you know who did? Shawn Michaels. You know why?
No, he didn't.
Because that tag team match in Saudi Arabia didn't happen. Nope,
Yeah,
That
it
it didn't
happened.
happen.
happened.
No, it
That
didn't. No,
happened.
it didn't. No, it didn't.
Injuries happened.
Kane's mask didn't fall off.
Cade's
It
match fell
happened.
off. Injuries happened to Triple
Triple H
H.
didn't tear.
We saw bald
No,
Shawn Michaels.
no, no, no,
Yes, it happened.
no,
It
no,
happened.
no. So
It took
Shawn
years of
Michaels,
Triple H's life, so I'm
right?
counting it.
And the funny
No,
thing is that ain't even the last time we ever saw a super kick in the ring from
nah,
HBK.
nah,
That ain't even the
nah. We're
last time.
rewriting history right now. Revisionist WWE history
No,
right now.
no, no,
Shawn Michaels
no.
retired at
I'm not doing that.
WrestleMania
I'm not doing
26.
that.
Nah, nah.
Now that match was Look, can we forget about it though? Can we just
I
forget that?
try and I can't. I
Like,
Yeah,
try and I can never.
that match is the reason why Triple H has a
When
pacemaker,
we
I
ask
believe.
when's the last time DX had a match, that's what we got to think about. When we think about
right.
when's the last time the Brothers of Destruction had a match, that's what we think about. So,
Yep.
and
Nah,
that's
it
why
is.
I respect AJ. If this is your retirement, because honestly, let's be real. Everybody's goal in this speculation is, will he go to AEW? I think that diminishes his career if he goes. If you go to TNA, it makes sense. That's where the majority of your career was. So you want to retire there, that makes sense. But to go
I
to
would think that he'd do
AEW
better as
to
a general
retire
manager.
in AEW in a place he's never been, to maybe do something great for a little bit. I don't know if that's the route I would want to
I
see him
think
go.
I think for somebody like Edge, Adam Copeland, I think in the long run, looking back at it now, it's kind of diminishes in ways. Only because he's been kind of getting injured and stuff like that. I think with AJ Styles, it doesn't because
Where is
Bullet
Copeland now?
he has ties. He has ties with Omega, Young Bucks, and these guys.
Rich,
I feel like Copeland. I mean, I'm
where
not
is
trying to
he?
down nobody.
The Cope. The
Where
Cope.
is
I'm
he?
not trying to down Cope. Huh?
Where is he?
Copeland. Cope. I think he's filming something.
He's not
I think
even
he was
around.
kayfabe injured, but I think he's actually filming something. I think he's kayfabe injured, but he's filming
I
something.
feel
I
like
feel like with
that hype of, oh, I could go and do things creatively that WWE wasn't letting me do, put which was basically just putting myself at risk. He fucked around and found out. He got hurt multiple times.
he did.
What WWE was
He
trying to
did.
keep him from, it happened. And God bless him that it could have been worse
Worse. A
because you
lot
came
worse.
from a neck injury.
He could
So
have he could have been coded
I
and
mean,
broke his femur.
I'm not necessarily upset with Cope for going out and wanting to do other things, but as far as the legacy, looking back at it now, I think it did because I think he got injured so much. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, that's what WWE was trying to avoid happening, and that's exactly what happened. You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't have any top. That was just really him being creative. So I don't knock him for being creative, but he doesn't have no ties to Young Bucks and Omega besides just being wrestlers. But AJ Styles, he has ties with them. You know what I'm saying? Bullet Club and all that good stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if he went over there and had matches with them because he got ties in TNA. He got ties to the Young Bucks and Omega and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if
So so I,
in the next year or so, I think he should just go to TNA, do a
so
final
he
run
so I
should have
as
a match with TNA.
champion, have a
I
final run as champion,
I don't think
represent, and retire.
I don't think he's gonna come back as a wrestler though. He's either gonna become general manager, but according to Wendy, he's retiring.
Wendy.
Not Wendy.
Wendy.
Wendy,
Yeah.
he
So
has final say.
I mean,
Oh, bro.
well,
But
well, well,
we'll see.
the future let us know. I mean, it's all speculation right now. It's all fan preference. We're gonna keep talking about this, where he should go, where he shouldn't go. Um, but I just hope if he does come back, it's not a situation where we're regretting the return and it diminishes where he left off. You don't want
Mhm.
to end up feeling like Undertaker felt, where he was like, "Damn, how I left that was terrible. Now I'm chasing that perfect final moment."
Right.
Ironically, AJ gave that final moment to him with
Yeah.
that
So
cinematic match.
we shall see what the future holds. So let's move on to Monday Night Raw, man. And we had the Bella Twins talking about going after. They're back. Breeze came back at the Rumble. They're going after the women's tag team champions. Steph and Raquel had a really good street fight. I ain't gonna hold you. I was pulling for Raquel. Blackwell.
Blackwell.
You know what I'm saying? What you got to think of that match?
So, to your first point, is a good look that the Bella Twins are back in the tag team division. I think that's where Nikki should have kind of went instantly. I think their time as like a women's championship situation, I think that's a little over. But as legends and arguably one of the real first, as far as WWE official women's tag teams, um, the Bellas deserve that little run. So I'm happy for that. As far as the street fight goes, I went in there wanting Raquel to win because I've been a little bit down on Stephanie Vakir as far as her
Hasn't been
reign.
great.
It
Hasn't been
hasn't
great.
been the best,
She's still injured,
but
by the way.
what?
She worked that match injured. She still has an ankle injury.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
shout out to Raquel for doing that.
so and this is where the
So,
but that I left off goes. As the match progressed, this is the Stephanie that I've been wanting to see. These are the matches that I've been wanting her to have, and like the interest level, and like it would have made sense if Raquel won in that moment, but she slowly made me like, yo, if Stephanie wins, I won't even be mad. I really enjoyed this match. So I went in there hoping Raquel wins. Then Stephanie wanted me back over, like, I could see her continuing after this. She obviously won. I'm happy for it. Liv Morgan steps up. It it did a lot of things for me. I don't know if I was really ready to see the Judgment Day um break up fully, especially
we got another 18 months.
especially the women, because the women, I feel like they just started gelling. And it's been interesting, like the dynamic between Liv, Raquel, Liv, and damn it,
Roxanne.
Roxanne. Um, I've been enjoying it, so I didn't want to see them break up so much. But if it was going that direction, so be it. So this gives us opportunity to keep them together, give a good challenger for Stephanie Vakir, and a good challenger for Liv Morgan on both ends. So I'm here for it. I'm here for both. What about you,
What you
Focus?
think about that?
I wanted Raquel to win. I think the obvious match would be Raquel versus Liv. Um, Stephanie needs some time off, heal that, get that injury healed up and everything. Because I know I had an injury with my ankle recently, and I'm still feeling it. Like right now, I feel my ankle injury, and I feel like she's still doing physical work, doing all those stunts and everything, and this, that, and the third. There's no way that that ankle's at 100%. She needs some time off.
But so
Mm-hmm.
here's the thing about that: we still have a 2 month build to WrestleMania. The next
Mm-hmm.
major event is the Elimination Chamber, which gives Stephanie Vakir a chance to not have to wrestle the next 2 months and still be involved in major storyline. Um, everyone's
Yeah.
gonna be gunning for the chamber, so all the attention is gonna be on that. They really just got to keep the promo game up and the shenanigans happening around Stephanie. But I think this is the best opportunity for her to heal and still keep that championship. So I
They
don't think
did
they're gonna be working her
they
as
didn't do
hard.
that with Rhea when it happened.
When what happened?
When her shoulder with her shoulder injury. Remember that?
No, Rhea sat.
Huh?
Yeah, Rhea was
Rhea
out for,
sat.
but
She was
Yeah,
out
Rhea,
for
that's what
Rhea,
I'm
like two
Rhea
and a
saying.
half
couldn't do.
months.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
but Steph can at least
They
do a
stripped
match.
the title from her.
Yeah, but at this point, if you watch that street fight, you know that even if she's still injured, she's actually still in a capacity where
They worked around it.
she can still perform because
Yeah,
she was not
Rhea wasn't
slow.
able to perform at all.
She didn't stop from jumping, flipping. It looked like she was in full form. So she still has some type of lingering effect of that injury. I think she still has enough time to get to 100% before Mania.
I feel like this was Stephanie's first real feud. Not to take anything away from Nikki Bella, but that was just like we all knew that Raquel was going to win. This is the first time in her championship run. It was like, oh, she has a feud. Like she
Yeah.
has somebody that can actually a threat to take away her championship. That's why I was that's why I was cheering for Rockwell, but like you said in the middle of the match, I was like, okay, this is the Stephanie that we put over, that Kayfabe have put over. This is who we put over. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm finally get some ROI on it. So yeah, so I'm glad that she retained. Now let's put sprinkle some more magic on Stephanie Vaquer's storylines, WWE, because she needs somebody that can talk. Like Focus said, she's injured. She's not 100%. So we got a lot of time till Mania. Put somebody in that storyline that can keep this feud going on the mic. I mean, yes,
Better
Liv
than Liv
Morgan.
Morgan.
Liv Morgan, you know what I'm saying? We got the other plate spinning. Like you got to keep that up because we got a lot of time until Mania. So
I mean, they even got enough time to do a Judgment Day jumps her. She's out for 2 weeks.
they probably should do that. That's the excuse to write her off
She
TV
could
for a
straight
while.
up rest for 2 weeks. So,
Yeah, write her
they
off
still
TV
have a
for a
lot of
while.
time. We got a lot of, I'm actually hyped that I felt like last year was like event after event after event mania. This year is Rumble, and we had a month and a half build, even though they didn't utilize that correctly. But we had a month and a half to the Rumble. Now we got a full month for the Chamber. These pay-per-views have been 4 matches, 5 matches tops. Not everyone's going to be used. So we got a 2 month build to Mania. I think it's enough time to generate hype for a lot of things and rest up people who need it.
Yeah. Speaking of using up time, I don't want to say using up time because they utilize their time amazing. But the main event overall was CM Punk and Roman Reigns. And some people are saying this is Roman Reigns' best promo ever. This is what got me excited for WrestleMania. This is what WrestleMania season is all about. Also, to your point that you just made, this is what I'm a little worried because we have 2 months until Mania, and this promo was hot. This is exactly what you want going into a WrestleMania program, but we have 2 months until WrestleMania. So, not to take anything away from that great segment, it's how do you keep this? How do you keep this hot
They already solved that
for
problem for
two
you.
months?
That promo solved that problem for you. In the and while watching that promo live, I'm like, oh my god, this guy is so disrespectful, and I love it. Roman is in the ring, cutting his promo. I may have a choice to make. The 2015, I believe, Royal Rumble, when he got shunned, blah blah blah. Coming back, Philly was the next space. It's fate that we're back in Philly. CM Punk comes in. What's the first thing CM Punk does?
Address Finn Balor.
Address Finn Balor. Not only did that disrespect the hell out of the tribal chief, which added another layer to their story, and another reason why this promo elevated to the level it got. You started off not even acknowledging Roman. Stepped in, looked at him. Finn Balor, the next time you pull I'm gonna see.
Right.
Guys
On
like,
site.
what? You look at Roman. Roman's
Right.
like, wait, what? So we already have the feud that's gonna happen through the chamber for the next couple of weeks. Keep your Roman off TV. That promo is still hot in the memory of everybody because they did what most people can't do. They instantly sold the match. They instantly sold the main event of night 2 with
Mm-hmm.
one segment.
This is true.
That's why they're saying that Roman Reigns, this is Roman Reigns' best promo ever, which I don't think it is. Like, let's not take away from the work he's done the last 4 years. Like, guy's promo game is heavy. The reason why is because the nuances building through that. Starting with the Finn Balor disrespect, him acknowledging you just disrespected me, then Punk leaning back in to his history and saying, like, you learned from me. You're running my playbook with Paul Heyman. I did the longest reigning champion of that era. And then Roman capitalizes on the history. I hate you. I hate you. You're going to acknowledge me. Perfect way to end it. Like, the back and forth, everything that collide, like, that is fresh in people's minds. Whenever they do clash, The roof is gonna get blown off the building. Anytime Roman appears, it's special.
It
We're gonna
is.
we're gonna we're gonna see we're gonna see we're gonna see this build is gonna be great. But it's gonna I'm pretty sure it's gonna kick up after the Rumble. I mean, excuse me, after the Chamber. But Finn Balor is gonna be that placeholder, and it's sad too because Finn Balor's tweeting. I think people not respecting me enough around here, dude.
I'm
If
glad
that
you finally noticed.
if that's not kayfabe and if that's a shoe, you just noticed. You
Right.
just noticed, bro.
You know,
So
There was a reason why they called you Penn Balor.
inbound.
you know,
Inbound.
let's hope
That's a
that
whole
brother
nother.
can rebound and find him something to do for WrestleMania. Because as of right now, the only trajectory, and we're gonna call it 2 months in advance. Let's see if because we have a good track record of calling shit in advance. If Dom Mysterio doesn't lose to Vikingo and doesn't have a AAA Mega Campeon Championship on the Mania card, it's gonna be Finn Balor versus Dom for the
I can see that.
IC Championship at WrestleMania.
I can see that happening.
That's the only
I can see that
trajectory I
happening.
can see Finn Balor going, and it's all dependent on Dom and what's happening with AAA.
Yeah, I can see that happening. I can see that happening. It was a great promo. It was a great promo. I think it was a great promo to cap off. I think WWE Raw, they have to utilize their time better. They have to utilize. This was a 2.5 hour show, and yet other things happen. But I just feel like other than those two things, that was kind of it that happened on it. They just have to utilize their time better. Like their
It's
pacing.
slow
Their
builds of
pacing
everything
is
else. You had
just their
Obafemi's
pacing.
debut match on Raw, him beating both War Raiders. We had another Giovanna Evans showing. We had the return of the original Grand Americano. So there were other things, but yeah, you're right. The highlight of the show is that promo. People look back, that's what they're gonna think about. Um, but I think
Yeah,
they utilized their time on Monday because it didn't feel dragged out. It didn't feel like filler either. Watching, but it wasn't probably wasn't the best show of the week. But it left them with that promo. It definitely left the memory enough to consider it a good show for that day.
oh yeah, for sure with that promo. On NXT, we had say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. He is finally the NXT champion. Well deserved. Well deserved. So that's what's up. On Dynamite, we had a couple of good matches. We had Ricochet versus Jungle Boy Jack Perry. We had a good women's tag team match. We had Kenny Omega versus Andrade El Idolo. That was a really good match.
The way to see match,
Definitely go out your
one
way to
of
see
those
that
watch
match.
away see matches out of the week for sure.
I, I thought that Kenny was going to win it. I am really happy that AEW is pushing Andrade because, like I told you, I thought it was an Andrade thing. I'm looking at Andrade like, I don't know, bro. Like, you went from WWE, AEW, and like, this is looking like a you thing, but AEW is finding a way to really make Andrade feel like a main event, as he should be, because he is a main event. He is a main event star.
You just reminded me of something. Let's put a parentheses in this segment.
So,
AEW, stop booking people who don't have an appreciation for wrestling to hold spots in the crowd and contribute to your show if these stupid bitches are gonna go back online and put that this shit is fucking fake. Fuck that old OnlyFans pussy selling bitch. If
It's
you're
only
gonna be
what,
involved,
less than a
if you're
thousand
gonna be
dollars,
involved in
less
the
than a
fucking
thousand followers.
entertainment capacity for a fucking sport that is followed by millions of people, how about you have some fucking respect? Now go back to OnlyFans and keep sucking that dick and showing that pussy for $7.99 a fucking month. End of the parentheses. But anyways, they are using Andrade correctly, and I did appreciate that match and the direction that they finally going with Andrade for sure.
My thing is that I feel since currently the Don Callis family
That's 99.
and the Death Riders are currently engaged in a feud, Claudio already has the CMLL championship. Have Andrade beat him for it. Real quick. Just fuck it. Why not? And
They
then
have they gotta have championship too.
have him win the AEW championship. Well, probably not that, but you know, have him be the number one contender and face Brody or MJF, whoever's gonna win that in Grand Slam. But if you want to make him a good make him look strong, have him be Claudio. Just like that, bro. Because who 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 else can he beat to give him more credibility? Because he just beat Kenny Omega. Who else is left after that?
You know what?
Mox?
Mox. That's exactly who
Yeah,
I was gonna say. Not and I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but Mox is kind of that benchmark. You have a great match with Mox, and if you come off strong on Mox, you have a good trajectory. I think.
yeah.
As tired as I was of seeing Mox as champion, that last run he had, world champion, um, I gotta give him credit where credit is due. He does know
He
how to
bounced back.
have great matches and give people momentum. It's what they do with that momentum that decides whether they succeed or fail after that. But almost anybody who locks locks in with Mox ends up getting a better boost. So I think if you want to make him have another run towards that, you have him go through Mox, you have him go through Hangman and Kenny.
But I think with him beating Omega, that puts that question like, yo, is Andrade about to be like? I ultimately think MJF is going to retain, but it makes it like it puts into question. It really like MJF has a lot of people that are like really threat. Like Omega can beat him,
Well,
Swerve
that's
can
the
beat him.
thing, right? That's the thing. MJF's next championship match is against Brody Lee. I mean, excuse me,
Yeah,
not Brody Lee. Brody King. Rest in peace,
Brody
Brody
King.
Lee.
Yeah,
Um,
first two.
Brody King is gonna lose because MJF is gonna cheat. So
Yeah,
that pushes a possible loss for MJF maybe 2 months down the line, right? Who's to say
and
Andrade doesn't win if he makes it to that match?
I'm trying to say, I would book Andrade beating MJF.
I would
You got to
too.
build these new stars.
I
Got to
would
build these
too.
new stars.
And I don't know. I don't think this reign for MJF has much substance. I think
really,
I think I'm enjoying the visual of MJF with the belt, but I don't think it's doing anything for the
I think
company really.
as much as and I still will
Outside
say
of
that
finally having Brody King in the fucking championship match.
I love Hangman. That's my guy. But MJF winning the championship immediately makes it the championship, immediately makes it main event. I think he
Because
elevates
everybody
that.
he speaks against, everybody he promos against, it's like it's gonna be a
Right.
something to
And
watch. It's gonna be he's gonna go either go in on this guy or we about to have a sparring of words right now.
and with Hangman, it was like we went from who is he gonna face? Now with MJF is just like, God damn, there's like a line, there's literally a line of people that he is going that are trying to get to him. So
Yeah.
why didn't you guys like the squash match? I feel like the squash match did what it was supposed to. It made
So
Brody King look like a beast that he could possibly beat MJF. Yeah.
the hype surrounding that match, as far as social media,
Uh-huh.
they were trying to build it as like this great moment in wrestling. But what the moment wasn't the wrestling. The moment was the ice chants. Which I have no problem. I love when they let the fans, chant. I love hearing realistic stuff. I do not like censorship. Cool.
Mhm.
But we went into that. We had this great visual of them standing against each other. The lighting, everything, the chanting, just for Hangman to take time away in a segment that was only about 5 minutes,
Mhm.
So two entrances, another surprise entrance. He gets distracted, put in the headlock, thrown to the floor, rolled back in, is over. Thrown into the turnbuckle, he hits the splash, is over. We only had 2 minutes. This is the champion. And I get the other side of it. It's MJF. He's a heel. He's going to win by cheating. It's okay to squash him, and it's not going to make him look bad because he's slimy. I get that.
Not as world
But
champion though.
not as world champion, and not as the world champion that in his last reign proved he can wrestle. He's one of them. That run with Adam Cole and everything after that whole championship run, we haven't had another championship run that matched that.
Yeah.
As far as quality of matches and quality of story. So for him to come back,
MJF is really showing you his
and
ring.
it ended in a minute and a half, and the visual, that the only visual out of that match that came out was the hanging spot, and that everybody's chanting "fuck Ice." I wanted the spotlight to be Brody ain't got a shot.
I feel like Brody King came out looking exactly how he was supposed to, looking like a beast, looking like a monster. The build up to those promos was MJF saying, "Who have you beat? Why should I even give you a championship match?" And then he comes out and then he squashes the champion. So like how,
you know
like
what,
your point,
it is?
like
It's probably not even a problem with the spot. I'm gonna tell you what the problem is.
Yeah.
The problem was the position. If you would have had this happen in the Kenny Omega position of the show and have the Kenny Omega versus Andrade close the show, I would have no problem.
It could have.
Why? Because you gave me time to get over the fact that the world champion just got squashed on some bullshit, and you let me get to this match that was a classic. That left us with storyline threads, Swerve, and all these people that interfered in the end. You could have left the show end with that. That would have been a better taste in my mouth ending the Dynamite than seeing the world champion get squashed like that. We don't need to make Brody King believable. The dude's fucking huge.
But MJF had a point. He was tag team champion, but it's like, who have you beat? Like, besides you being big and physically imposing, who have you beat? Why should I give you a champion? And he was right. And then he comes out and then he kills the world champion. I think it does exactly what it was supposed to do.
I only had 2 weeks of build, believable. As far as the challenger, I agree. I agree with you on that. I just don't think this was the right spot on the show for that. I'm not gonna shit on it completely because a lot of the hype, for this match, a lot of the hype in this match for me was the social media reaction to the fuck ice and the Brody King choking him spot. I thought that this was something that I was gonna enjoy to watch for more than 3 minutes.
As a booker, I would have had the show open with this and close with the kid. I agree with you on that.
My view is different because I'm not a live viewer. I'm not.
Right. Because they seem to love it.
I'm watching the rewatch. So on the rewatch, I went in there with, this was a highlight spot in this. I'm going to enjoy that. And it was only 2 minutes. And you ended the show on me like that. And the biggest spot of that Dynamite to me was Kenny versus Andrade. To the point, rewatching Collision to me was better than Dynamite. You muted.
Am I muted? Can you hear me?
Oh no, I can hear you now.
All right. Well, we'll get to
Collision. Wait. I got one more thing to say.
Go ahead.
I'm getting tired of wrestlers using barks all the time, bro. There's like 3 wrestlers already that use barks. Like, come on.
Who else is using barks?
Braun Breaker, which has a legacy reason for barking. It's in his family.
And Obafemi. And Brody King.
Is that a bark or is that more like a panther prowl? Like I think like Black Panther when he's marching. I don't know why.
It's kind of the same thing. It's kind of like the same thing.
It's kind of like a grunt more than really a bark. Like a grunt.
Yeah.
It's like
it's very
I think it's like
similar.
a grunt.
It's very, very similar, and
He's
it's
like,
like,
It
oh,
there's
is.
different
I
animals, guys.
It's
You
yo,
yeah.
can
can we do
meow.
something else?
It's a little, you know. It's more of a grunt. I think it's more of a grunt than a bark. But shout out to Obafemi. Speaking of Obafemi, he's hop over to SmackDown. Man, he came over there and crushed Kip Wilson. Why did you have this guy in the Royal Rumble anyway? But yo,
He probably
oh,
didn't want to go.
yeah, I mean that is a long trip. Saudi Arabia is a long trip. It is. You know, it ain't. You know, it ain't Kansas.
Wait, who was in the
Uh,
Rumble?
Kid
Kip
Wilson.
Wilson
Oh, they probably would have fucking had a problem with Kent Wilson being in the Rumble, the Saudis.
because we've been talking about the toxicity.
His
There's a lot of toxicity.
flamboyance is probably looked down upon in Saudi.
That's that part. I'm happy. Jumping over the SmackDown side of things, I am happy that Drew and Cody came out firing back at Roman and Punk. I thought Cody could have went in a little bit more, but I think Drew should have went in a bit more.
That
So
wasn't just Cody. That was Cody Raheem
that
Rhodes.
was Cody Raheem Rhodes. You know what
That
I'm
man
saying?
said the reason why they over there and chose each other because they're gonna have a dick measuring contest, and they're happy that I'm not involved because there's a reason they call me Raheem. Yo,
Adrenaline
yo,
in my soul.
Cody gets 10 points for that fucking promo. That shit was hilarious, and a good nod to like the social media memes and
Right,
it's
right.
one of those moments where you could tell he got an ear to what's happening in the streets and shit.
Facts. Facts. Facts.
It's funny because I
Drew,
knew the guy who created that meme too.
who?
Yeah,
I knew the guy that created the meme too.
Okay, okay. Oh yeah, yeah,
Shout out
yeah,
to him.
yeah. Yeah.
you say he passed
Drew
away,
Mac.
right?
Yeah, he passed away during Thanksgiving, so rest in peace,
Oh
man.
God, rest in peace. Sheesh.
Yeah.
Uh, Drew McIntyre came out there shooting too. He came out there shooting back at Roman and Cody and all that, saying that SmackDown is the number one show. This he got the number one belt. You'd be stupid to think that the World Heavyweight Championship is the number one belt. You know, call it the Stone Cold, San Martino, Triple H, Michaels belt. You know, I mean, he does have a point. He does have a point. Wow. I'm glad they came out back out there shooting. You know what I'm saying? Because as they should. Because just
Chip has been the more interesting belt this year.
you can make that argument because CM Punk is a champion, and when CM Punk is a champion, he is interesting. That is a
Seth
great
Rollins,
argument.
you gotta give it to what Seth Rollins been doing too. And before him, Gunther. And look at the run Gunther's on this year.
Yeah,
So two
I don't
years
even think
ago,
Gunther needs a title this year because he already
he
has
don't.
his story set.
He don't. Who's he
he doesn't.
retiring at WrestleMania? That's my
That should
question.
be his right. Who's his
Hopefully, Ricky Morton
the retirer?
Yeah, both of them. The whole Rock and Roll Express, please.
Right, we do a
and
two
Ric
for
Flair too.
And Ric Flair's
right.
no. He needs to wrestle Ric Flair's dreams of coming back. Stomp them shits before they become reality.
We're getting a 3-for-1 special for the retirer. Well, let's move on. Actually, oh shit! Before we get to AAA, I'm gonna just walk over to Collision, just real quick. Collision was a good show. These guys think that Collision was the best show. I personally don't. One match you should really go out your way to see that main event with Collision with Roddy Strong, um, Claudio Castagnoli, and the new champ Ciampa. Go out your way to see that match. Those guys,
Either parking lot
pretty cool.
brawl that they had.
Yeah,
It was
that's
a Vegas parking lot brawl.
it was
Yes.
very attitude era, that parking lot.
24, yeah, the hardcore
But
championship
I can't lie, that
very good.
visual having the background of Vegas,
It was
in that
awesome.
brawl was pretty cool too. So
And cheeky little side note, I actually in 2023, I actually stayed at that Palms Hotel that was in that shop there when I went there in 2023. So yeah,
yeah,
uh,
so it's a rare occurrence where I give the time to Collision, but Collision felt like a good continuation of what Dynamite was doing. The
yeah,
MJF storyline continued on Collision, cutting a promo about what happened with Brody King, and we also had I forgot who else it was. There was another storyline element that
Yeah,
carried over.
we had Tekla and Chris Statlander story progressed. We
Man, I lost
had
it soon, but it
the
was a good
tag team
continuation, so
championship.
it was worth it this week.
Yeah, yeah, the
Oh yeah,
Young Bucks versus.
The Bucks versus the Gates of Agony.
Yes, that was a really good match. So, so yeah, the Young Bucks are looking sharp, very, very sharp, looking 2019 ish, like with their moves and their crispness and all that good stuff. So yeah, shout out to the Bucks. Let's go over to the AAA side, man. Let's go over. Shout out to AAA, yo. Shout out to AAA that's been putting on a really good product over the last couple of weeks,
Consistently.
despite promotion.
I've been trying to tell you, like, yo,
Consistently.
AAA this session, and Dominic
Well, I
Mysterio
have
has
noticed
been holding us back.
they're getting a little bit more promotion because now it's a weekly show. So I have been seeing in like the commercial breaks
Well,
a promo for
they just
AAA
started
during
that
Raw.
weekly show.
What was that?
They
They could do
started it
better.
like a couple. They started that weekly show like a couple weeks ago. That's
This
why.
is the third episode. Yeah.
They could do better.
Um,
But shout out to AAA though.
the funny thing is Dom Mysterio has had more presence over the past couple weeks in AAA than Raw. He made his Raw return this week, but in reality, he's been back for us for weeks in AAA, and we had more of his presence. He cut an amazing promo. And also shout out to Rey Mysterio and JBL on commentary. They're doing a good
Yes.
ass job on AAA
Yeah.
because Ray is doing
Yeah.
the word by word translation of all the Spanish promos, and then having JBL balance that with a straight up American style like commentary.
Yeah.
It's been making the show more enjoyable, and I understand Spanish
Sure.
100%. Puerto Rican, so I do understand. I don't need translation, but I've been actually enjoying hearing Rey Mysterio do the translations for people. So shouts
A
out
lot of
to them.
people, and a lot of people don't notice, but JBL had uh, Mexican run back in the day before he came
Yes.
to WWE. So he's well versed in the lucha libre style. So there's nobody that I feel that could probably replace him at this point, other than if you put like Conan or another Mexican wrestler.
Yeah,
Nah,
Conan is
JBL.
there once in a while for like the pay-per-view events, I've noticed. But yeah, I didn't even,
JBL was super
most of the
versed.
time people overlook the commentators or don't
I
really
don't know
care to
how.
notice.
I don't know how. I love commentary for wrestling. Like that is a sound. That's why even when I go to live events, I wish I could have an earpiece to hear the commentary. That is for me. I like a soundtrack over my wrestling
Yeah.
stuff like that. So they did a good job. Yeah, JBL is super versed. He used to wrestle in New Japan, Mexico, so he knows his wrestling. So
Yeah.
yeah,
But
and as
back
somebody that
to
doesn't need a translator, they did a great job with
yeah.
that.
But back to Dom. Dom did cut a great promo talking about his worth in AAA and the fact that AAA owes him a thank you for everything that he's brought to the company, being the Mega Campeon champion, bringing the Mega Campeonato to the John Cena. I gotta say it like that because he emphasizes that shit.
Right,
Um,
right.
but
Talk your shit, Dom. Talk your shit.
he's brought that championship in a match against John Cena. That belt has seen Monday Night Raws. That belt has seen SummerSlam. So he's put AAA on the map, and arguably,
Yes.
can we even argue against him? In that
I think we need to start having a
In
sentiment.
my
conversation about
opinion,
Commissary being
in
the
my
greatest Triple A
opinion,
champion of all time. Obviously.
in my opinion, he's already a Hall of Famer.
He
He
is.
There's no,
He's
is.
been in the game for 20
there's
years.
no way that you
I
can't
don't
say
I don't
Dominic
joke around
Mysterio.
when I say he's the best
And
Mysterio.
it and it's like and it's like he's not even been wrestling for like what, more than 5 years, and he's already had a Hall of Fame career.
Now it's
It's
been a little
wild.
over 5 years for sure.
Wild, bro.
I think he's on year
Wild.
6 or 7 right now.
Bro, what do you mean? Dom's been in the
Yeah,
game for 20 years, bro.
You're right. Yeah,
20
since he was a kid.
years.
Since he was a kid.
You know what I'm saying? Dom's been, you know what I mean? Like, he's been in this game. You know what I mean? It's in his blood. It's in his DNA. It's in his bones.
So he cut a great promo. Vikingo comes out to interrupt him. Obviously, he's the number one contender for the championship. and he ends up laying down an extra challenge to spice up, and
Oh,
he's asking Dominic to put his hair on the line in the championship match. So that just leads me to believe that Dom just wants to change his look up, probably cut his
yeah.
hair shorter or cut it off completely. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so
You might
I don't,
see
I
full
don't. We
on.
might see a short hair Dominic again.
I think we might see full blown babyface Dominic Mysterio coming up. I think with that haircut is gonna come in like he's been leaning in. He's more of a tweener now, but I think he's gonna really be more of a
Have
baby,
the
like how
short
Eddie
Eddie
Guerrero
hair,
was.
the
What you
short
said,
Eddie
Willis?
hair, the short Eddie hair,
Yeah, he
Yeah,
needs
he's
the
gonna have
short.
that
spiky.
short
He
head
needs the.
hairstyle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
after Eddie cut the mullet, he needs that next hairstyle for real.
yeah, and he's gonna be
Um,
like Eddie, that tweener but really a babyface stuff.
but I'm looking forward to that match. Another highlight was the Grande Americano. Was supposed to have a fatal four-way match to qualify for the King of King tournament, the Reyes del Reyes tournament. Which is like a King of the Ring style uh tourney in AAA. They, instead of
Mm-hmm.
a crown, they win a sword. So when the
Or
Grande
so.
Americano, who's been heavily involved in AAA, which is the Kaiser Grande, he ends up getting attacked by the original Grande Americano,
Okay, handcuffs my
handcuffed.
man.
Yep, handcuffed him, and then the original ends up taking the place and moving forward in the tournament.
I
So
personally couldn't tell the difference, but I mean, I'm glad that everybody else could because like, he handcuffed them. I didn't know who
is
was
the
who.
beard, is the little beard. That's how I could tell the difference.
I barely noticed. They're like
The only
identical.
thing, the
So
only thing that I felt like it gave it away was because the other one was wearing different colors.
even with that, they just identical. I thought he just did a quick alpha flash. I was like, oh wow. Then they showed them backstage. I'm like, oh yeah, they switched. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. They're the same
Yeah.
person,
So
It's like they're doing twin magic.
right? Twin magic.
yeah, for sure. They have slight differences, but I can understand your kayfabe confusion.
Okay.
Um, I think this is gonna lead to a WrestleMania match between the Grande Americano stables. I think this is gonna pull Tozawa and damn it, what's his name, Otis. I think
Mhm.
it's gonna put Tozawa and Otis back into the fold because right now they have a World Tag Team Championship match that's coming up against the Usos. I think there's a good opportunity for maybe for the original Americano to kind of apologize for the past, reunite with them to go against Grande Americano, Rayo, and what's the other one?
Peace, Bravo.
Bravo, Rayo and
Bravo.
Bravo. So I definitely see a 3-on-3 match between them. I don't know if it'll happen at Mania, maybe AAA. I'm hoping it's at
All I'm
Mania, but
saying,
I definitely see that
all I'm
direction.
saying, hashtag bring back El Gran Gordo.
I'm with that. El Gran Gordo. You know what? If they do it in AAA, I want El Gran Gordo, and I want the power of Tozawa masked.
Facts.
But I think that was all the promotions, all the highlights for the week. I
Yeah.
think the only tidbit is a little bit of stirring the pot that Ricochet did this week, with a statement that caught a lot of people either off guard or triggered a lot of fans. I'm on the spectrum of I completely understand what Ricochet is saying, while completely understand why the company might have had that position on him to begin with. So I can understand the business sense. I can understand Ricochet. And here's the thing: what Ricochet actually said was working for WWE, his time, his 5 years working for them, it felt like the time difference of when Thanos did the snap and the Avengers returned everybody. He feels like his wrestling career kind of went to the shit, and his love for wrestling kind of died, and him leaving the company and going to AEW reignited that love. So here's the thing, fans, you cannot tell someone in a profession that they actively perform in how to keep, maintain, or where to put their passion. That is up to the person to perform. So for anybody that he critique this man over the fact he lost his passion or his love changed, who the fuck are you to tell somebody how to feel about what they do on a day to day?
Facts. And let's
Straight
not
up.
forget, there's a lot of wrestlers that we'd be like, you know what? Maybe they should go to AEW.
Tommaso Ciampa.
There's been multiple people
Like,
who I'm pretty sure, and then afterwards, Gargano is
he
probably the next
should. He
one. Like,
probably should. And that's okay. That's okay. Some people, and this is what I put. Somebody had this debate on on our TikTok, the Kayfabe Avenue TikTok. Follow us. And someone put, oh, and they wonder why Ricochet left. And my response to that person was, well, fans need to realize not everyone thrives everywhere. And
Right.
Ricochet is in the best place for Ricochet.
Yeah.
for real, he
Now,
really is.
where I understand the business side of it, Ricochet is phenomenal in the ring. One of the greatest out there. He could give you any type of match. He can do any kind of spot, but he cannot talk. And this has been a running joke in the WWE. Now, I don't know if it's a dig at him, but there's been multiple times in a lot of his feuds or a lot of things he's been involved in where the people he has to promo against completely shit on his promo ability, and then he looks like a fool the rest of the segment.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's the script that he's following to a T or he doesn't have that rebuttal energy, but to be honest, his promos is not why I'm enjoying him in AEW. It's not.
It, there definitely there's an improvement though. Like
But is
before
he
his
great?
promos, they were very cringy. They were like, oh. In this, they're like he can carry himself in a promo more.
For
He's
now,
able.
yeah.
It seems like he's more comfortable. He has the ability to be more of himself in AEW. You
Right.
know what I'm
So here's
saying?
and here's the thing that I want to kind of put the idea, and we could discuss how you feel about this. Would you rather risk 5 minutes of airtime, somebody speaking, risk that on a Ricochet, or somebody who's gonna have a guaranteed great promo, whether it's good or bad?
You're probably gonna go with the guaranteed great promo person.
Right? Because time is money. So if I'm gonna put you out there for 5 minutes and I'm supposed to give you a live mic for 5 minutes, but all of your promos for the majority of the time they fall flat or people don't buy into the promo, I'm gonna scale that back. So that's why
Yeah.
he was being used in the spots and this and that. And then
We can get a
people
mouthpiece for that though. We can get a
people will
mouthpiece for that.
right, he could get a
And then
mouthpiece.
you
And
also
that's
got
what they should have tried.
For
Giving
sure.
him a mouthpiece. They should that's the only thing I give that they did not attempt. Because I'm sorry, he's correct. Giving him the IC title didn't mean shit. That was the dangling the carrot. Hey Ricochet, here's a championship. Stay with us so we could put you back into the Royal Rumble spot, or we could put you in the Logan Paul spots, or those high spots that we just need somebody who could pull that off. That's all they did. So I agree with him. That IC title didn't mean shit to him, and it shouldn't have. It was a dangling carrot.
Yeah.
it was that. Here's your consolation prize. Now shut up.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So,
And to me, that's even more disrespectful than anything else. And it's like
mhm,
it also goes to the fact where Samantha said that she wanted to be a manager, and it's like that would have been a perfect combination. You have Ricochet, you have Samantha talking from him, and it would have been great. But they didn't want her to get out of that ring announcer spot, even though she could probably work multiple roles. She could have been doing the ring announcing on Raw, and then just leave Ricochet on SmackDown, and then she would have been the manager there. It probably could have worked. It
Right.
just they didn't want to go that route.
Samantha bubble and they keep Ricochet from jumping ship. His wife wants to be a manager. She needs to step up. You have no faith in his talking ability. This woman obviously has no problem with public speaking.
Right, right,
Why not?
right. Got to give people a chance to. I mean, also that was an old system. That was an old system. Maybe perhaps if times were changed, maybe Ricochet came up from NXT and Hunter was running the main roster. Perhaps his experience was different, but that definitely was a whole different regime. That I don't really think Ricochet. I understand why he feels the way he feels. Like people got to understand. Some newer WWE fans may not understand. Ricochet was how people style their, no pun intended, how they style their style after AJ Styles. Say that 5 times fast. People mirror their style after Ricochet. He was very integral to how wrestlers wrestle now. So to go from being really an indie god, and you should have been getting that high praise. Of course, we got to come through and we got to fix some things. Wrestling on TV and wrestling in indie is completely different. But like to go from that to being how he was treated, I understand why you say. And my thing is with fans, how are you trying to? You can't deny somebody's experience. You're not him. You can't tell somebody how you can't feel house way.
Everything.
Money,
They think that
yeah,
money is everything.
yeah.
Oh, but he was making this. Oh, he would say that when he resigned. You know how many people I saw in the comments? Oh, but he didn't say that when he resigned.
He didn't resign
Newsflash, dumbass. He didn't even resign a
He
contract.
resigned, and
He
he
had
and he and he
one
tried to get
contract.
released. He
for
asked for his
five
release.
years,
They denied him.
a
Exactly.
long
I
time.
remember the time we was covering it when he wanted to, and when he asked for his release, and we were asking why the fuck don't they give him his release?
And I
So
don't, I don't, I don't want to start a debate out of this, but this goes back to when we were talking off air. This is a prime example of WWE is no longer the end all be all because of situations like
we don't have
this.
enough time for that conversation.
Right.
We really don't. Because that just if you're gonna say the end all be all as far as they're the only option. No, they're not the end all be all as far as the only option. But as
And that's
far
what more
as
I was speaking up to. That's more what I was speaking
if
up to
you're
with
talking
far as
about overall, historically, international reach, dominance in the industry, they're
yeah,
the end
no
all be all.
question, no question. Yeah,
They're
yeah,
the
no
end all
question.
be all.
It's not even wrestling.
But
It's
no,
WWE.
there's always been other options. It's just were you willing to go to Japan? You know, were you willing to go to a being a top guy? Were you willing to go to a lesser company back then, like a TNA, and build them up
So I guess
before
more of
before
a,
your career decline, not
a,
after the decline?
a viable North American promotion where you can still live in North America,
Right,
make good money, and still be at the top of your
right.
profession. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's more of what
Yeah,
I was
yeah, no,
getting
no.
at from that message.
They're not the only option, but as far as to really prove yourself in the industry on a worldwide international level, it's like, yo, AEW has been around for longer than WCW's history. They and
So
there's
like 6.5
fans
years now.
internationally that still don't say wrestling. They say, "Did you watch WWE?"
Right, right. Yeah.
So when that stigma is really filtered out of the culture, and it's like AEW is viewed in the same bracket and has the same amount of reach, and their audience is growing because when Kenny Omega announced that he's back into the world title picture, that was the first time they've hit over 650,000 viewers in a year.
Mm. I was very excited about that. I thought my man
Not
Omega
only
was on his
that,
way to retirement.
the wars were like about hitting a mill. These guys
Yeah.
haven't hit close to a mill since they did that CM Punk videotape reveal that they got 800,000. So their crowd, their audience isn't growing. In fact, they're losing international reach because they just lost their TV deal in Australia,
in
right?
Australia. Yep.
So
But they're about to do a show out there though.
yeah, next week.
Yeah, they're doing a show out there.
But
No, this week, this Saturday.
Oh yeah, it's already
And
Sunday.
that card looks, I ain't gonna hold you. That card looks stacked AF. So next week we'll definitely be
Yeah, next
covering
week we'll cover
covering
that.
covering that. Yeah, 'cause that card is stacked.
So, any final thoughts on anything we spoke about? Any final thoughts on the Ricochet? Anything else? I think that was a pretty good
I
bow on the
feel
whole
like
week.
fans need to support other promotions and not just support their favorite wrestlers.
Mhm. With that
Hmm.
being said, let's show some support this week. Quick mention: MLW Battle Riot, their version of the Royal Rumble is a 40-man where you can actually throw them over the top, pin, or submit in the match. Cool concept. 40 men. Karrion Cross is your new MLW World Champion. So shouts out to MLW. Shouts out to Karrion Cross.
Wait,
Doing
wait, wait,
big
wait,
things
wait.
on the
Not
indies.
only that, but he was the number one entrant.
Yeah, him and Matt Riddle at 1 and 2. So he won it for the number one spot. So definitely go out your way, go see that. It was entertaining. A lot of old stars from WWE, AEW, various promotions. So check that out. A lot of up and comers too. So he's absolutely right.
But not
Support.
Matthew Justice. But not Matthew
Yeah, no,
Justice.
no, no, not everybody Rollins. We're good. Um, but support indie wrestling. Focus has a HOG hat. HOG is actually throwing a show in Long Island coming up with MJF on the headline. So go check that out. It's not always all
And
about AEW and WWE. You guys got to broaden your horizons, and this
I
is
mean,
why there's so much tribalism.
just past weekend, Game Changer Wrestling they held their J Cup tournament. Charles Mason won, and then he got the Jersey Championship Wrestling title. So shout out to him.
And Mason,
Like, there's a
Charles
lot of
Mason
wrestling out
is
there.
your current HOG heavyweight champion. So is a lot of other things there. That's why I said when it comes to people like Ricochet, when they voice their frustration, you cannot tell another man what his experience is walking this earth. And I
Right.
think that's probably the fact of the week that we could leave you guys with.
Yeah.
Um, we can do this all day. We can
All
do this
day.
all week. We'll catch you guys next week. But for now, follow us at Kayfabe Avenue on all social media platforms, on all streaming sites, and anywhere you get your podcast. Check us out on YouTube, TikTok. Join the conversation, like, share, subscribe, and take us home.